Hello, everybody. Shane Sams here from the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast and flippedlifestyle.com here for a free training all about email marketing. We're going to be talking about email marketing for beginners today. People just starting out with their online business, people maybe just getting into internet marketing, just getting into selling things online. Going to talk about how Jocelyn and I, my wife and I, built our entire business just with email marketing. We still make 90 something percent of our income from email marketing. It's how we started out 7 years ago when we first started our online business. Email marketing was the foundation of everything we did, and it's still the foundation of every single thing we do. So just a couple housekeeping issues here as we get rolling tonight. I am broadcasting this live on Facebook. Hopefully, I'm trying to actually get this to live stream at the same time I'm doing this. I do not know exactly what I'm doing because technology sometimes gets the better of us all. But I'm checking real quick to see if we're on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, I think we are. We are actually on Facebook right now. Amazing. Let me see if I can actually hear myself. If I can hear myself, that would be awesome. I totally can hear myself on Facebook Live. How about that? The miracle of modern technology in 2019. For those of you who are in the chat on the webinar registered, I will be speaking directly to you tonight. Just wanted to simulcast over on Facebook, but I am inside of the webinar right now, and I'm going to be taking questions from you guys as we talk about email marketing. I want to tell you a little bit about how Jocelyn and I grew our business with email marketing, and I'm going to give you 3 really important strategies that you need to focus on if you're just starting out with email marketing, if you're trying to grow your email list, if you're trying to make more money using email marketing. I'm going to give you 3 strategies that you can use right now to set up a business all based on email marketing. It is the best way to make money online. It is the best way to make an income from home, and I'm going to teach you how we do it tonight, okay? Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with Flipped Lifestyle, I am Shane Sams. My wife, Jocelyn, and I host a podcast called the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast, and we teach other families how to use their God-given talents, God-given experiences, God-given abilities to create income on the internet so they can change their family's future. We are former school teachers who started online businesses back in around 2012, and we were able to quit our full-time jobs in 2013, and we have been self-employed ever since. Flipped Lifestyle is not the only thing we do. Jocelyn and I own multiple companies, multiple online businesses, and every single one of them are based all on email marketing. Okay, now you're going to be looking at me a lot tonight. For those of you who are tuning in, simulcasting on Facebook, for those of you who are right here with me on Zoom watching this webinar, or maybe you're watching the replay later over on YouTube, you're going to be looking at my mug, this face, these baby blue eyes right here, and this Kentucky logo and these WWE championship belts. That's what you're going to be looking at. I don't do slides. I like to talk face to camera. I like to have a conversation with you, the audience, so that I can teach you everything that I know. And if I slow down to make a bunch of slides, it just ain't going to work. And if you're not from the South and you're not familiar with me, you know I am from Southeast Kentucky. So I talk funny, y'all, and you might have to slow me down every once in a while. If you don't understand some of the words that I'm saying that are coming out of my mouth, you can just ask me in the chat box over here to repeat myself. But make sure you pay attention. Don't confuse dialect for intellect, y'all. Y'all might miss something important that could change your life. And I want to thank everybody, too, for being here today. Stick around. I'm going to give you a free workbook at the end of tonight's training that will help you set up your first 7 emails in your auto responder sequence, help you write those emails, help you plan out those emails so that you won't have to be guessing on what should I send people when they sign up for my list. What do I need to do? How often do I need to send this to them? I'm going to give you a workbook that's going to help you work through that. I'm going to give you that at the end of tonight's show, okay? All right, so we got a bunch of people logging in here. Tell me who you are and where you're from. I will try to monitor the comments over on Facebook as well, so you can check that out. Let me click on that over here and see if I can open that up. And but tell me where you're from. I see Brandon from Virginia. Welcome, Brandon. Good to have you here. I see my boy Fred. I think that's Fred down in New Orleans, who that is. I got Tyler from Illinois. We've got Lynn from Florida. Go Gators. Okay, this is not going to turn into an SEC contest in here. All right. We've got Chris from New York. I was actually just in New York City. Was it last week? Yeah, last week. I was actually just in New York. Had a great time. And I got an original Corbin boy in here. We got Crystal from Port Orange, Florida. Yeah, I got a lot of people from all over the place in here. So welcome everybody to tonight's presentation. Really excited about this. This is one of my favorite things to talk about is email marketing. This is a huge topic. It is a complicated topic. It is something that scares people to death, especially in the beginning of their online business journey. And it's something really near and dear to my heart. If you see all these books over here, I have tons of books about business, tons of books about copywriting, tons of books about making money online. But I spend the vast majority of my time reading about email marketing and copywriting and making emails work for me, helping me make money with email marketing. I love email marketing. It's the most passive form of business that you can run if you base it on email marketing. It's the easiest way to reach people and market people. Everybody's got an email address. And I absolutely love to talk about email marketing. But I want to stress to you at the very beginning of tonight's training, so I get our expectations clear. This is a vast topic. All right. We have tons of courses on this. I've read tons of books about this. There's no way I can teach you everything about email marketing here tonight. Okay. But I'm going to help you with the basics. I'm going to help you set a strong foundation. I'm going to help you create a framework to where your email marketing systems, your email marketing, the business that you're growing can bloom from that foundation. And later on tonight, when we get to the end of the call, I'm going to take a Q&A so that anybody's got any questions, I'll follow up with you. I want to make sure I answer as many questions as I can tonight. And I'm going to show you where you can get more help about email marketing at the end of tonight's training. Okay. All right. So let's talk. Let's get this going. Let's get this started. Let's talk a little bit tonight about email marketing. I'm going to tell you how we got started email marketing. Back in 2012, I wanted to quit my job. I wanted to build an online business. And Jocelyn was with me. We were talking about it and we were dreaming about it. And we were like, well, how do we do this? How do we make money online? And the first people that we followed online started talking about email marketing and email lists and their audience and all this stuff. And we realized like that was the path. That's the fastest path to making money online, is get someone's email address and send them an email that sells them something. They click a link. They click a buy button, you've got money, they've got a product. That's it. That's the whole system. All we had to do was build an audience and get their emails. But here's the problem. When we started out, we had no audience. Like nobody was paying attention to us in anything we were doing. And we had no email list. So we had an idea, right? Jocelyn was an elementary school librarian, and she wanted to create lesson plans for every day of the year. And she wanted librarians to pay her monthly to send them lesson plans, right? That was her idea. We would take all of these lesson plans. She was a librarian. She had experience. She was making all of these things go, and she wanted to sell those lesson plans to other elementary librarians. But no elementary librarians knew about Jocelyn. No elementary librarians knew about her lesson plans. Nobody knew about this idea. We didn't have an audience, so we had to go out first, and we had to create this audience. So Jocelyn would go around and search for forums where librarians were talking. She would follow hashtags on Twitter to see what librarians were talking about. She would do reach outs and contact people and make connections and look through her network of librarians, look for conferences. And she slowly, ever so slowly, started getting a little bit of an audience to come to her blog, elementarylibrarian.com. But an audience isn't what we need. You can't email an audience because they're just coming to your website. They're just traffic. And we had this trickle of traffic. We had to be able to offer these librarians something so they could sign up for our email list. So Jocelyn created some free lesson plans, and she gave them out. If you put your email in, she sent you a free plan. Now we had their email. Now we had them on an email list, and we could start email marketing these people. We could start sending them freebies. We could start sending them sales pitches. We could start asking them to give us money so that we could send them products, send them these lesson plans. And it took us 3-4 months to start piecing together a list. And when I said we started out with no list, well, it wasn't much bigger after those first 3 or 4 months. Somehow, through hook and crook and claw and scrap, we built an email list of about 200 to 250 people when we launched Jocelyn's online business, elementarylibrarian.com, when we put those lesson plans out there on the internet for sale to buy. So we had this really little list. I mean, that's only 250 people, 250 people on the list, 250 librarians on the list. And Jocelyn said, hey, let's get ready to go. Let's launch this thing. Let's see if anybody buys it. Even though the list is small, it doesn't take a big list, right? We sent this email out. 250 people saw it. Probably about half of them opened it, right? Probably about 100, 125 people. And when Jocelyn sent out her very first email, the first email that ever had anything for sale, she made $2,500, over $2,500 on the very first email she sent. Now, she put some work into that. You know, she had to roll up her sleeves. She had to go build that list person by person, and she had to scrap until she got those 250 people. And when she launched her product, the crazy thing was, it was a year of lesson plans. She only had a month done. So she even said, hey, guys, I've got a month of these lesson plans done, but if you go ahead and sign up, I'll send you the first month, and I'll keep making them month after month after month going forward. And she had a bunch of people buy, and we made $2,500. Now, remember, when Jocelyn and I started online, we were school teachers in Southeast Kentucky, right? We brought home about $2,500 each a month. Like, that was our take-home pay. We were only making about $2,500 each. And in one email, we made as much money off that digital product as we made in a month of our take-home pay at our full-time jobs. We knew we were onto something. There was something to this email marketing. There was something to this. So we kept scrapping and building the audience. And, you know, the next month we made another $2,500. And then the next month we made another $3,000. And it kept growing, $3,100, $3,500, $5,000. And it just kept, as the audience kept growing and our email list kept going, and we kept getting better and better at email marketing, the money that we were bringing in every single month from our digital products, from our memberships, kept growing as well. And in July of 2013, just around a year after we launched that very first product with our email marketing, we were able to make $15,000 in a single month just from emails, guys. We would send out an email on Monday, remind them on Wednesday, close it on Friday, and boom, people bought our products all through emails. The next month, in August of 2013, just from email marketing, we did not run any ads at this time. Everything was organic and clawing and going out and building an audience and getting people on our list and offering people freebies so they would sign up for our email list. In August of 2013, we made $36,000, 100% from email marketing. And that was the month that we decided to quit our jobs. So we went in there on September 27, 2013. We quit our jobs and we went full-time online as email marketers selling information products, right? And 100% of the reason that we were able to do that we were able to replace our income, we were able to build an online business that was stable and predictable and successful. 100% of the reason that we went in and were able to quit our job was because of email marketing. And we have been doing this now for almost it's actually over 7 years. We're going into our 8th year in online business. Our first time we ever did anything online was 2012. We quit our jobs in 2013. We've been self-employed ever since. And everything we do revolves around email marketing. Over 90% of our income comes from emails. The other 10% comes from personal connections, right? So 90% of our income, almost everything we do every week, I sit down every week and I think, what am I going to do this week? What emails am I going to send? What am I going to sell? Everything is based on the list, okay? All right, now I'm going to go in. If you guys have any questions, I talk fast. I get it. Go ahead and hit the Q&A button. There's a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. If you got a question over on Facebook, you can drop that in over there. What's up, Joe? See my boy Joe Nicoletti in the house. See Alicia over here. Hey, Jeanette, go ahead and put your questions either over here on Facebook or you can drop it in right here on the chat in the webinar. And I'll be happy to answer those questions. I won't be able to stop because I don't stop until I run out of air, and I don't run out of air for a while. So I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to teach and train and give you my best strategies for beginners for email marketing. And then I'll answer your questions afterwards. I already see one question coming in. So go ahead and put your questions in as you go, okay? All right, what's up, Doug? I see you there, brother. All right, so let's talk real quick. Now, you know, that's our story. That's my story about how we used email marketing to make millions of dollars online, to quit our jobs, and to become and stay self-employed for the past 7 years. But some of you may be asking, like, why emails? Email is an old technology. It's been around for years. There's all this fancy stuff now that we have, like webinars and Zoom and training and Facebook. I see you over here on Facebook. Like, why emails? Why do we focus so much on emails when there's so many other of these shiny objects? Well, you know, from our experience being here 7 years in the online space, which is an eternity in the technology world, right? We've seen lots of fads come and go. We've seen bots. We've seen social media marketing. We've seen this. We've seen that. But the concrete foundation, the fundamental technology that makes every single other thing work is email. Like, think about social media. You can't log in to Facebook without your email address. What's the first thing that Twitter and Facebook ask you? They ask you for your email address. Isn't that a little strange? You ever thought about that? I signed up for Disney Plus last week, right? This new streaming service. Anybody else sign up for Disney Plus? Tell me if you've been watching some Star Wars and some Mickey Mouse over the past couple days. I have, because I signed up for Disney Plus. And guess what they asked for? The first thing, they didn't ask for my credit card. They didn't ask for my name. They asked for my email address. What do you do to sign up for Amazon? Everything you order, your receipts, they go to your email address, right? Any app that you sign up for, what's the first thing they ask for? Your email address. Email is fundamental technology. It is the backbone of everything we know how the internet works, and it's going to be here for a long, long time. So when Jocelyn and I are pushing our chips in, when we're betting on what technology we think is going to work, we go for the stalwart. We go for the foundation of it all. We don't want to do the fads. We don't want to chase the new things that everybody's talking about. We want to talk about the one thing that runs everything, and that's email. So that's why we use email marketing, because it works. And not only is it a fundamental technology, it's going to give you the best result of any other technology. You know, ads, if you get an ad to get a 1% click-through rate, you're lucky, right? But you can get 10, 20, 30, 40% open rates on your emails, and people are going to see that. Think about how fast you swipe through your Facebook news feed, right? But you don't when you check your email. You look and you read the subject line and you see if it interests you, and you click open and you click links. Email has incredible engagement rates when you compare it to social media. So it's not only the fundamental technology that runs everything else on the internet, right? It's also the best thing we have to reach out to people and to get them to engage with us. And I'm going to ask you this. Who here has checked their email address? Have you checked your inbox today? Who's checked their inbox today? Who's checked it in the last week? I would be willing to bet that 90% of the people that are watching that training, someone said, I'm actually about to after this call. Oh, yeah. It's all right. Like, everyone's checking email. 1, 2. Lynn Ross, she says, constantly. Brandon says, I probably check my email 100 times today, right? Maria says several times a day. Exactly. And everybody is checking their email just like you are. It is indispensable, right? It is the indispensable technology that we have available to us today. And until something comes better, I'm going to stick with email marketing. That's where all the money is. That's where we make it happen, okay? So the real question is, how can you guys, beginners, or maybe you are in the game, maybe you're selling stuff online and you want to grow your audience, you want to make more money, you want to have better marketing, right? How can you use email marketing to grow your business, to change your family's future, just like me and Jocelyn did, right? So I'm going to give you 3 strategies that I want to talk about, 3 focus areas. These are really big picture, really general, wide swath kind of things, but I really want you to think about these 3 things deeply, because all of your tactics are going to come out of these 3 strategies. If you don't do these 3 things, you're probably not going to have successful email marketing. You're probably not going to be able to make money with your emails. You're probably not going to be able to go out there and build the business that you want, because you're going to be getting things out of order. Okay, so these are the 3 big things that I think about every single week in our business. All right, so the first strategy, okay, and I love to play a little game on my trainings, on my live trainings. I don't have time to stop and outline and check everything. So, you know, you're already writing questions in your Q&A. I see some people talking to each other in the chat. You want to click where it says 2, and you want to put all panelists and attendees, right? All attendees, right, in the chat. But help me keep everybody on pace. When I say a big strategy, somebody outline that for me. Somebody put that in the comment box so that we've kind of got like a running organizational structure here. Fred, I'm looking at you. Help me out, Fred. All right, but anybody else? Maria, you can help him too. Anybody wants to help, keep that in order for me. Just tell me the big strategies. All right. So strategy number 1 to great email marketing, right, especially for beginners, is you have to focus on audience. Strategy number 1, audience. Remember that word. I got 3 big words, and they all start with odd, okay? A-U-D. So audience. Audience is the number 1 thing you got to focus on. because your audience is how you build your list, right? When Jocelyn and I first started out, we had no audience, right? I told you that. We had no email list. Jocelyn had to go out and figure out where her perfect customer hung out. And she had to go out and build relationships with them. She had to create things for them. She had to go just let them discover her so that she could ask them later to join her list, okay? You've got to be able to reach out to your audience and build some form of audience, right? Maybe they listen to a podcast. Maybe they read your blog. Maybe they follow you on social media, right? Maybe they watch your YouTube channel, but you've got to build an audience. Now, you don't need a big audience, right? We had probably, I don't know, a few hundred people paying attention to Jocelyn and maybe 250 to 300 people that actually were on the list, right? So we didn't have a huge audience, but you do have to build an audience, and then you have to filter some of those people onto your list. So the question is, how do you build an audience? All right. How do you build an audience online when you don't have an audience? All right. The first thing you have to do is you've got to be really consistent with content. Content is what drives the list. If you create content consistently, you will grow an email list eventually, right? You have to go out and you create content. It's not about ads and it's not about promotion yet. The first thing you've got to do is create consistent content. Now, there's only 3 kinds of content you can create: video, audio, and text. That's it. There's nothing else you can do on the internet except slap a picture on a blog post, right? Video, audio, and text. So maybe you could start a YouTube channel. Don't tell me that sounds hard, because my son has a YouTube channel. He's got 500 followers on TikTok. He's got more TikTok followers than I've got. And he did a YouTube video yesterday for his fishing playlist, right? He recorded it on his iPod and he uploaded it in 10 minutes. That's all he did. So you can make a YouTube channel if you really wanted to do some video, right? If you wanted to do audio, it's easier than ever to make a podcast. You can download the app Anchor and you could start a podcast tomorrow. You talk in it and you press a big button that says publish. Not hard, right? Even blogging and blogging has even become simpler, because you could literally start a Facebook page. You could literally do an Instagram. You could start a Twitter account, and that's where you write. So if you like to write and share pictures, there's plenty of people making tons of money with nothing but Instagram and Facebook pages and social media channels, okay? Creating content is the easiest thing we do. Anyone who typed in the chat today, anyone who typed in the comment box, you created some content, right? If you've ever sent a video to your kids on your phone, guess what? You can send a video to Facebook or YouTube just as easy, right? So consistently creating content, and then focusing on where your avatar hangs out. I reached out to a lot of people on social media, right? A Twitter account is free. You can go sign up for a Twitter account tonight, and you can start searching for things, and you can start following people and connecting with people that are in your space. When I launched my football playbooks, I did not have an audience. I did not have anybody following me. I had no football coaches who knew who I was. So what I had to do was I had to go to where they hung out, which was Twitter, and then I would sit and scroll through the Twitter feed. I would type in football coach, and I would scroll through, and anybody that looked like a football coach, if they had a picture and they were on the sideline or they had their arm around a guy with a football, I would friend them, and I'd reach out to them, and I'd send them a message. And I would go find forums, message boards, anywhere where people were talking about football, and I would talk about football. So you can go out and build an audience if you'll create content and then put your content in front of your people where they're hanging out. A lot of people I see try to put the cart before the horse, right? They go focus on their email marketing, and they go focus on building these cool things and playing with the tech and all this other nonsense. And they don't realize that your email list comes from your audience. Audience, email list, sales. That's how it works. That's the only way it works. That's the only way it ever will work. So the first strategy you got to do is come up with a plan for building an audience. All right. Strategy number 2. You with me, Fred? You with me, Fred? Got strategy number 2 here. Got a lot of great questions popping in over here in the Q&A. Got a live Q&A coming up for email marketing here in a little bit. If you got any questions, go ahead and put them in right now, and I'll get to them in just a few minutes. All right. The first strategy was focus on your audience. The second is focus on your autoresponders. All right. This is a big thing that we did not do right in the beginning. We didn't realize that constantly doing everything in real time was a bad idea. And we finally discovered that we have the technology to batch and schedule out autoresponders ahead of time. So what is an autoresponder? An autoresponder is an automated email sequence. So if you join my email list tonight, you're going to get an email automatically. I ain't sending it. It ain't me. It's a computer software program that does that for me, and it sets it up. And then tomorrow, you're going to get another one, right? Then you're going to get another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. That's an autoresponder. It automatically responds to people who set up your email list. This is where the freedom comes from. This is where passive income comes from. This is where all those cool things that you hear about that online marketers get to do, like, hey, I get to make money 24/7. It's because of email automation, email autoresponders. My favorite moment ever for making money from my email autoresponder was a few years ago when we first quit our jobs. It was probably the second year we quit our jobs. It might have been it might have been 2015. Maybe it was 2014. I can't remember exactly. But Jocelyn and I went to the SEC tournament because Kentucky was really good at basketball that year. We lost a terrible game the other night against Evansville. I don't want to talk about it. It's going to depress me, and I'm going to derail, and I may just shut the whole webinar off. But we were good this year. We were beating everybody. We were beating the people we were supposed to be, and nobody was supposed to beat us, right? So we were at the SEC tournament, and before we left, I said, hey, I'm going to set up some emails for this weekend. I want to set up an autoresponder sequence so that anybody that's on our list, anybody that's opting into our list this week, I want them to get all these sales emails because I want to make money while we're at the SEC tournament. I want to make some of that passive income, right? Like we're going to be playing and people are going to be on our list and we're going to make money while we're playing. Like that's what it's all about, right? I'm not trading time for dollars. I'm using the software and the technology to make money for me and to work for me when I'm not working, right? So I set up this little sequence over the weekend. It was like 2 emails a day over 3 days. And we went to the SEC tournament so we could watch the tournament. So we're sitting there at halftime. We're killing Arkansas. Kentucky is beating them to death, right? I'm on cloud 9. We're loving it. The crowd is 90% Kentucky people. It's all blue. We're go big blue. We're blue, white. We're doing all the chants. We're singing the fight song, and it's halftime. We're killing everybody. So everybody kind of gets up and leaves, and our section just clears out, right? And I'm sitting there, and I put my feet over the chair in front of me, and I put my arms out like this because nobody's in there anymore, and we just got like all these empty seats. And I get my phone out, and I look at it, and I'm going to see if we made any sales, right? And I looked at it, and during the first half, we had made like 2 or 3 sales. We had made over $460 in the first half while we were at a ball game beating Arkansas to death in the SEC tournament. And I said, and it happened during the first half, and it all was from these email autoresponders that we had set up, right? And I was like, this is crazy. Like, how does this even happen? Like, I worked earlier that week. I scheduled this stuff and let it ride, and the email marketing did the rest and made sales for me while I lived my life, while I enjoyed my favorite sports team, while I enjoyed the SEC tournament with my wife and my best friend and his wife, right? And that's what it's all about. That's what email autoresponders do. You can automate your sales process. You don't have to be sitting there at all times with everybody. You can use technology to send these emails for you. People have their phones with them all the time. I got mine right here. I'm actually doing a training, and I'm sitting here holding my phone, right? It's sitting right beside me. I bet you can reach over and grab your phone right now. Do it, right? Reach over and grab your phone. Just reach over. I bet everybody here can reach out and grab their telephone. Well, guess what? Everybody's got their phone on them all the time, and everybody's got their email inbox on their phone, which means you have direct access to all of your customers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as they're awake, right? So that's the power of batching. That's the power of automation. That's the power of autoresponders, right? If you have an audience and you get them to join your list, you can send these autoresponders out, and you can sit down on a Monday like I did this week, and you can schedule out all your emails for the rest of the week so that you can go out to lunch with your wife, so that you can hang out with your spouse, so that you can go pick up your kids and you can do all that. Last week, Jocelyn and I went to New York City on a couples trip. We just wanted to take a trip, left the kids at the grandparents, and we wanted to get away for a little while and just have some fun and relax with some friends of ours. One night we went to a jazz club in my favorite place in the whole city. It's called Dizzy's, and it's got this amazing view of New York City over Central Park. On the next night, we went to the Comedy Cellar, and we watched a taping of a live comedy club, this taping of this comedian he was doing for Comedy Central, right? On the next day, we went to Madison Square Garden, and we watched Kentucky play Michigan State. And then the last night, we went and we watched Wicked, the play, where the Wicked Witch of the West, right? It was awesome. That was probably, besides the Madison Square Garden game, that was probably my favorite part of New York City. But before we left, right, for New York City, we left on a Sunday. We had just come from Nashville. Our daughter had a cheerleading competition. On Thursday, I just sat down for about an hour and I wrote out an autoresponder sequence. And I wrote emails and they automatically dripped out over the next week so that I could go enjoy my life, right? I batched all my work in one place and then I went and lived. And that's what email marketing can do for you. That's what autoresponders are all about. All right. So strategy number one, build an audience. We do that with content, right? You got it. If you don't know how to make content, I'll have to help you on that later. Okay. Number two, autoresponders. You got to set up the technology. You got to automate this stuff. Like this email marketing buys your freedom back because you can batch all of your work ahead of time. Okay. All right. And strategy number three, right? Strategy number three, you've got to be audacious. You have to be audacious when you're an email marketer. You can't be a passive email marketer. You can't be a polite email marketer. You can't be a play it safe email marketer. You have to be audacious with your emails. You got to go out and you have to email people consistently and constantly, right? You've got to send these emails out to people as much as possible. I email my list almost every single day, right? Something is going out to a segment on my list all the time. I think I sent like 4 emails today. Some of you probably got all of them, right? That's just the way it is. I send a lot of emails. You got to go out and you got to be in people's face. You got to close the sale you got to squeeze the time from, oh, I found your website, discovery, all the way down to purchase. You got to get them into your system fast. If you don't have an audacious mentality, if you want to be a play it safe mentality, then you're not going to have successful email marketing. All right. So here's some tactics that you can use. Number one, you need a long-term nurture sequence, right? We have an autoresponder. It's 7 emails. As soon as you sign up for our email list, whoop, you're going to get those 7 emails over the next 7 days for most of our opt-ins, right? But after you come out of our initial 7 email autoresponder sequence, you're going to go into our long-term nurture sequence. We send emails out for this long-term nurture. We got one every week. Every single week that's coming out over like 52 weeks, right? When Jocelyn set this up for Elementary Librarian, she set one every other week. And we just relentlessly kept the flow of stuff coming. It was value. We were giving a lot of value. We were helping people. We were giving them things they needed. We were sharing resources with them, but we were offering things to buy as well. We were pitching, right? We were audacious. I try to pitch in every email, at least in the PS, okay? So you have to have a long-term nurture sequence set up so you can say, hey, even if I get busy this week, the kids are running one way, work is crazy, this, that, or the other, I know that I've got an automated long-term nurture sequence going out and sending stuff to these people. You've got to get into almost daily emailing your list, right? You may not email everybody, but you've got to not be afraid and you've got to not be shy. And you don't need to listen to all these gurus and experts who are like, oh, be careful, honey. Only send 1 email a week, or maybe 1 every 2 weeks. You might make someone mad and they may unsubscribe. Listen, I don't care if you unsubscribe. I'm an email marketer. I'm here to market things. I'm here to make sales. That's what we're going for, right? So guess what? I'm going to be asking you to buy stuff. You know why? Because my stuff's good. And if you pay for it, you're going to get results. So you need to buy my stuff. You don't need to look at the other guy's stuff. You need to look at my stuff. You got to be audacious. You got to be in their face. You got to make them buy or unsubscribe. Lukewarm, spit them out, right? You have to be audacious. This is the biggest mistake that I see people make with their marketing. They're not audacious enough. They're not in their customer's face enough. They're not out there emailing people and saying, look at all this amazing stuff I have for you if you would just buy it, right? Hey, think about commercials, right? Think about the most successful companies on earth. Think about Apple. They're in your face with marketing. We were in Times Square the other day, and they've probably spent $10 million on billboards in Times Square. Think about commercials, right? You think Coke and Pepsi are shy? No, they're in your face every commercial, every other second. Think about the things that are appearing in your news feed, right? The biggest, most successful companies are audacious. They have something to sell. They have products that can help you solve your problems, and they are not afraid to put those in front of you. And you've got to do the exact same thing with your email marketing, okay? So if you've got any questions, keep them coming. I see 3 questions in the Q&A box right now. Going to be getting to Q&As in just a second, but I want to review a little bit, and then I want to talk about some of the most common questions that we get as well. So number 1, all right, was audience, right? You got to be able to build an audience. You need strategies that work, and you need to know how to actually go out and build an audience, right? You got to get some traffic. You got to get people to discover you before they join your email list, okay? Number two, you've got to learn how to use autoresponders. You've got to learn copywriting. You've got to be able to go in and write these emails that are going to get results, or you're not going to be able to make money 24/7, 365, right? Might as well have a 9-to-5. You got to be able to get your autoresponders churning, and you got to be audacious. You got to stop being shy. You got to stop getting your feelings hurt. Someone told me today in the community, someone unsubscribed from my list, and it was a bit devastating. And I was like, that's not devastating. That's good. They self-selected out. You now know that was not your target customer, and you don't have to pay for them to be on your list. Bye, Felicia. Like, they're gone. That's fine. It's okay. Go get more people that are your perfect customer onto your list, and then be audacious. Get in their face. Go after them with your email marketing, okay? All right, so I'm going to go start jumping into this Q&A. All right, don't forget, hang out with us. We've got a free workbook for you at the end of the training tonight. It is a strategy planning workbook to help you with your first 7 emails in that autoresponder sequence I was talking about. So I want to make sure you get that. Don't leave. I'm not going to drop the link in until I get out of here, and I'm only going to drop it in the comments and the chat, okay? So that's where you're going to get it. Not going to email it out. You had to be here live to get the freebie. I'm sorry, okay? All right, so we're going to drop that in here in just a few minutes, and I want to show you, too, where you can get help with your emails, with your email marketing, how we help our community do that. All right. So Crystal says, I love hearing Jocelyn's story about growing her list. I am starting to gain momentum, and I have close to 300 people on my list. Ooh, that's 300 humans. Crystal, imagine if 300 humans walked into your apartment right now, or your house, whatever you live in, right? Imagine if 300 people were in your house right now. Right? We think, oh, it's a small list. No, that's 300 humans. Like, if Walmart had 300 people in it, that'd be a lot of people shopping, right? So yeah, that's amazing. All right, how can I keep those people engaged and trust me enough to buy so quickly? They are on my Black Friday wait list as well. All right, so the first thing you can do with your email, I tell people to email every day. I'm not saying like only ask for things, right? You want to give too, right? So I have a site where I sell history teacher lesson plans. So I will email the list 2 or 3 times a week, just like a little bitty activity that might give them 5 minutes in their classroom, right? Or I might reach out to them and ask them a question like, what's frustrating you? What can I help you with? Okay. So you have to open a 2-way dialogue. Why do we email? Like, if you sent me as a friend your email, it's to open a dialogue. It's to have communication. It's to talk to each other, right? So if you just open a 2-way street with you and your audience, I sent an email out Wednesday that was tagged to come back to my email on replies. And I've got a dozen emails in there just from the other day of people writing me back. And I'm going to go and I'm going to sit down tomorrow morning and I'm going to write them back. And I'm going to say, hey, thanks for reaching out. I hear you. Here's what I can do to help you. Click here and buy my thing. So like, most people are only one question away from buying your product. So just open that 2-way dialogue in your email inbox. Okay. Great question, Crystal. All right. Let's see. Another question that I get a lot is, how do I get my audience to join my email list? This is one of the most frequently asked questions that we get. And the answer is a lead magnet. You've got to be able to give something for free and then take an email and get the people on your list, right? They're not just going to give you their email address. People are pretty savvy these days. We get a lot of stuff thrown our way. A lot of, people's BS detector is really high. And it's, you got to give somebody something of value. So try to figure out a small problem you have, or maybe the first part of your product, and you would give them that. And you would say, hey, if you opt in, I'll let you come to this training. Like, look what you did for this training, actually. You had to register for this training. I got your email. All of you. Every one of you, you're on my email list. Buy or unsubscribe. No, I'm just kidding. But like, you're on my email list right now, right? Like, so you have to give value. I'm giving you massive value. I'm giving you a free training on how to get started with email marketing, how to create autoresponders, how to get out there and use your email marketing more effectively. So I'm answering questions. So that's well worth an email address, right? You're learning. Who's glad they opted in, right? Who's glad they opted in? Tell me in the chat box. I'll open the floor. Who's glad they are here? I'm very glad, right? We got a very glad, right? Me, all caps, another me, right? Like, so, exchange value, right? An email address is valuable. Contact information is valuable. So exchange that email, okay? All right, Cynthia says, from the email marketing providers available, which do you recommend? I've been using MailChimp, and I'm very pleased with them. but wasn't sure if I needed to switch my audience over to something better for future growth. Okay. Here's all I got to say about email marketing. All right. So number one, okay, we really like Kajabi. I don't have a link for it right now, or I'd be dropping a link in, but like, I really like Kajabi as a platform. Okay. We use multiple providers. I've got ClickFunnels. I use Infusionsoft. I got all kinds of things. But here's the deal. It's not about being better, right? It's about being something you'll use, okay? It doesn't matter how expensive it is or how many bells and whistles it has. Can it do these two things? I can collect people's email addresses and I can send them emails. That's it. Anything you use that does that works. Your job, okay, is to go out and build an audience, put lead magnets in front of them, and then audaciously email them as much as possible. That's your job, right? The tools are all so similar these days, guys. Listen, now, I will say this. You can't use free stuff. You can't just be like collecting emails on a spreadsheet and trying to use Gmail, right? You need to invest in your family's future. You need to invest in yourself, and you need to go out and you need to build an autoresponder. You need to use something that's designed to do this thing, okay? Like, you got to be able to do that. So MailChimp's awesome. Aweber's awesome. I got a check from Aweber today because we used to be an affiliate and we used to promote them all the time. So I love Aweber. Kajabi is amazing as a platform. It's probably my favorite platform to use. But I am more concerned about you going out and building an audience, setting up autoresponders, and being audacious. If you do those three things, it doesn't matter. I know millionaires who use, I seriously do. I have friends who are millionaires who use Kartra. I have friends who are millionaires who use ClickFunnels. I have friends who are millionaires who use Infusionsoft. I have friends who are millionaires who use ActiveCampaign. I have friends that are using all of these systems, right? It's anybody can make it as long as you can collect emails and send emails. You do that, you're good. Okay, so don't get caught up in the technology. The technology is not the problem. All right. On that note, another frequently asked question I get is, tech scares me. How do I set up these autoresponders? That's a big question that we get, but I'm here to tell you the technology now is simpler than ever. If you can literally send an email, you can use most of the programs that are out there. There is so much competition in that space. All of these email marketers, all of these autoresponders are coming together, and they're starting to be really homogenized. They're starting to look the same. So really, guys, if you can go in and type an email, you can use these emails. All it is you string some emails together, right? So imagine dragging an email, imagine a little square represents an email. Here's how almost all of these platforms work now. There's a square that's an email. You drag that. That's email 1. Then another one. That's email 2. And then another one. That's email 3. You do 7 of those. You click a button to connect it to a form. Bam, you got it. That's it. It's going to do it automatically for you. So don't get caught up with the tech. The software that's available today is light years. If you saw what I had to do to collect an email back in 2012, y'all flip your lid. Y'all freak out. You'd lose your mind. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm so jealous of all the new people that are starting out now. I had to connect everything and code everything and drop this HTML into this PDF and all this nonsense. And like, it was like, I don't even know how we did it, to be honest with you. I still look back and think, how did we do that? But now it's like, oh, you log in with your email address because they want those. You log in, you click a button, you pick 7 emails, you type. Like, the software is way easier right now. It's super easy to do this, okay? Maria says, my website isn't finished yet. Do you have to wait to collect emails until your site is finished? If not, how do you collect the person's email in the meantime? Okay. Well, most of the email providers that we recommend now, like Kajabi, they can create pages themselves. So you can actually have a page where people can go to. You've got a link that you can share. You can create waiting lists. You can even take your domain temporarily and mask it over top of it. But I'll be honest with you, this is an excuse that you're making. Your website could be up tomorrow. A one-page website takes 1 day to create. And then you can fill in the blanks later, right? So, like, I don't know why your website wouldn't be launched. Like, I could see, even if you're using WordPress, which is the most popular software out there to make a website, turn it on. Make a page and say, hi, Maria, got a great website. It's coming soon. Get on the waiting list below and I'll give you a freebie. Click. That's your whole website, right? A website can be 1 page. So don't let that be an excuse for you, okay? All right, so I got a couple more questions here. I'm going to wait and see if anybody else has any more questions. I'm going to go for about 15 to 20 more minutes. So go ahead. If you got a question, type it in right now. I do see a couple questions over on Facebook as well. I'm going to come back and I'm going to get to these questions in just a minute. Make sure you hang tight, not only so you can hear the answers to these questions, but I got a free PDF workbook for everybody here. It's going to help you write your first 7 email autoresponders. But I can tell by the questions and the there's a lot of energy. Every time I've asked for a question, I've had like 10 responses in the chat room, and I can actually kind of feel a little bit of overwhelm. Who's a little overwhelmed by all this right now? Are you guys overwhelmed by email marketing? Like, it is really overwhelming. Like, this stuff took us me. There you go, the energy. But we got people saying me. Yes, I'm overwhelmed. Like, this stuff is confusing and it's hard. And we had no help when we started out. It took me and Jocelyn months and months of stumbling in the dark and bumping our heads onto the poles and running into limbs and tripping over our feet before we finally figured out how to do all this stuff. And that's one reason why we launched the Flip Your Life community. We launched the Flip Your Life community so other families could find the freedom that we had through email marketing, through online business, and so that you could have a life that you could live while your business worked for you in the background. And that's where we teach people how to do what we do and how we help people to put together all this confusing stuff and kind of reduce the overwhelm. So before I get to these last questions, I would love to show you guys around the Flip Your Life community real quick. I've got it pulled up over here on another screen, and I want to just show you all the things that we have inside of the Flip Your Life. If this is overwhelming you, if this is confusing, I hope that this has given you a big high-level look at the strategy that you've got to follow. But I know there's a lot more to it, and I wanted to check that out. So would that be okay? Can I stop the Q&A for just a second? Let me know in the chat here if you want to see inside of the Flip Your Life community. We got a few members, got a let's go. Let's check that out. Let's look inside the Flip Your Life community. I'm going to come back here in just a second, and I'm going to answer all these questions that have been asked, okay? So inside of the Flip Your Life community, right, as soon as you can see it here, well, what we do here, I think I just shared my Facebook page. That's not right. Let's try that again. Go back over here. Stop the share. All right, let's go back in and share the correct page. All right, I need to go desktop 2. Am I sharing the right thing? Let's try this. What do y'all see? Y'all see the blueprint? All right, you got it. All right. All right, so do you see the community? Can you see the community? That's my question. Can you actually see the Flip Your Life blueprint? If you can see it, let me know in the chat, okay? All right, more chat. Boom, can you see it? Am I on the right page? Yeah, okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so inside the Flip Your Life community, there's a lot of things going on inside the community. We have a huge community, hundreds and hundreds of families from around the world who are in here flipping their life, changing their family's future, building, starting, and growing online businesses. The heart of the Flip Your Life community, though, is the Flip Your Life blueprint. Jocelyn and I sat down one day and said, what are all the things we wished someone would have taught us, right? When we first started out our online business, first got into online business, and we created courses and trainings for all of those things so that you guys, people just like you who want to do email marketing, who want to go out and build an online business, who want that automated income while they're living their life, right? So they could go in and do this stuff faster, quicker, easier, without any problems, without any hiccups, right? I've already told you the tools are 100 times easier these days to do this stuff. All you need is the plan and the strategy, and the Flip Your Life blueprint is our step-by-step plan to help you get started, grow your business, build your business, all based around your content and email marketing. And we have tons of courses about email marketing inside. Maybe you need an idea. Maybe you're just starting out and you want to get your idea together. We can help you get through that. Or maybe you've already got your idea and it's online, right? We can come in and we can help you to build that audience with your content. We have a course right now inside the Flip Your Life community you can take tonight on how to create epic, great content, audio, video, or text. It doesn't matter. We also show you how to use that content to build that audience and get those people on your email list. When someone opts in for your freebie and they join your email list, they are now a lead. They are no longer an audience member. They are no longer a person out in the interwebs. They are a lead that might buy something from you. And we have courses that show you how to convert your audience into members, into sales, into people who buy your stuff. We've got stuff in here to help you create those autoresponder sequences. I actually have a course inside of the Flip Your Life community. This is the workbook that I'm going to give you in just a few minutes. All right, we have a training in here that helps you create the first 7 emails inside of your autoresponder sequence, right? I'm going to give you this workbook for absolutely free just for hanging out until the end of the webinar. But we've also got in here a template that actually helps you where I write the emails for you, okay? You can actually see, tell me if a PDF is loading right now. Is a PDF loading right now? It's taking forever. But I actually show you how to write your first 7 emails in your autoresponder sequence so that they work, so that they convert. These are battle-tested strategies that we use to write our emails, and all you have to do is retype, plug and play all of that stuff into your stuff, right? And then I've also got a community. We have a huge community of people that are helping each other build their businesses, working together in a huge online worldwide mastermind. You can see all these people over here that have recently logged in just in the last 24 hours. And we've got tons of conversation happening all the time. I'm in here. Jocelyn's in here. You see Crystal, who is actually on this call, was in here earlier, right? And we've got people in here uniting together, helping each other, a huge community of hundreds of people, family-focused entrepreneurs from all over the world, plus all the training that you would ever need to get started in your business. And I show you all that because I really want you to consider joining the Flip Your Life community. It is an amazing place. So many success stories come out of there. And we want to help you get your email marketing right. We want your email marketing to be up in a week. We don't want you to sit and struggle through it like we did. We don't want you to stumble over yourself, write bad emails, get terrible open rates, your autoresponders not convert, not get any leads. We want you to come into the community and let us help you do that. So we are actually raising the price to the Flip Your Life community on December 3rd of this year. Any new members after December 3rd of this year will have to pay $99 per month to join the Flip Your Life community. We are about to redo parts of the Flip Your Life blueprint. We are about to add a ton of new content. We have 16 new trainings that we're about to release, along with 16 Q&As that we did with a live audience. And we're going to be putting those inside of the Flip Your Life community. And we're going to be increasing the value of that thing. Demand is really high. We've got a lot of members in the Flip Your Life community right now. That's stretching us a little thin. So we're going to have to raise the price on December 3rd. It's going to be $99 a month. That's almost $300 if you were to join and stay for 3 months. But until then, for people who show up to our live trainings, we are actually going to be offering for the next 30 days. Well, it's not 30 days anymore because it's the 15th. For the next about 15, 16 days, if you come to a live training, we're going to let you join for $99 for 3 months. You're going to be able to take advantage of a quarterly price for the Flip Your Life community. That works out to just $33 a month. You're going to lock that rate in forever, right? As long as you keep renewing, it's going to keep charging that, and you will avoid the price increase. You won't get hit by it. You won't be paying $99 a month for our premium product. You won't be paying $99 a month to get inside the community. You will lock that in quarterly. Right now, if you join tonight on this training for $99, that's a quarterly price every 3 months. It doesn't even bill. If you join tonight, you wouldn't even be billed again until 2020. That's almost 65% off what the new price is going to be in December, on December 3rd. So wanted to offer that to you guys tonight. Wanted to show you all the amazing courses we have for email marketing. We have tons of courses for everything else in there. And this is our premium plan. This is not our standard membership. That will lock in your rate forever for our premium membership at $99 a quarter. All right. So we are about to raise that. Not only do you get all those courses, not only do you get all that community, Jocelyn and I actually do live Q&As right with our audience. You know, this webinar, this web training right now, I got about 6 more questions about email marketing. That's all I'm talking about tonight. But you can come ask us questions at our Q&As, anything you want, whatever you're stuck with, wherever you're stuck, anything you need. Jocelyn and I do live Q&As with our audience so that we can help them get the answers to their questions. You can come to those Q&As. We actually have a Q&A on Tuesday. You could go in tonight and you could watch one of those trainings on email marketing. This weekend, you could set up your autoresponder, right? And then if you get stuck, you could come ask me and Jocelyn a question on Tuesday, and we would help you get unstuck, okay? So in the comment box over on the Zoom call, I have dropped a link to that quarterly deal. If you are watching or listening, you can go to fliplifestyle.com/quarterly. I am posting it over on Facebook as well, and you can lock in your rate at $99 a quarter, right? Because it's going to be $99 a month. It's going to be $300. We're raising the price on December 3rd. Do not anticipate ever bringing it back down to the levels it's at right now. That's actually cheaper than the current monthly rate of $49 a month for the premium plan, right? So check that out. Quarterly plan. I'm going to get back to this Q&A. If you got any questions about the Flip Your Life community, put those in the Q&A box, put those over on Facebook, and we will get after those, okay? All right, so let me, hold on, I'm going to drink a water. It is very dry because it's cold here, and the winter is harsh. Winter is very cold in Kentucky. All right, so I'm going to jump back into Q&A. If you got any questions about the community, if not, go ahead and click that link. If you do join, tell me in the chat or tell me over on Facebook. Let me know if you come in. We love our community members. We want to welcome you to the community. Hit that up, save over $200, save 65%, avoid that price increase, and don't pay anything until 2020, fliplifestyle.com/quarterly, okay? All right, so Fred asks, I'm about to complete my core product and then turn my focus to email marketing in Kajabi, okay? How far out do you batch and plan when you first start out? Okay, so what I would do is I would actually plan out probably – I would not go more than 2 weeks out. Your autoresponder can be long. Like it can be 7 emails in 7 days. That's your first autoresponder. You could go ahead and plan one email in a long-term nurture sequence every 2 weeks. And that way you're going to be sending out emails. Okay? So you could do that. But what I do, I like to batch monthly or weekly. Sometimes I'll go weekly. Like this month, I've been batching weekly because this is a really important month. This is Black Friday month, right? So I got to get my emails right. All right. I got to do trainings. I got to get these trainings out. I got to get my Black Friday emails right. There's a lot of strategy going into this month, right? We talk a lot about that on Q&As and in the community, like each month, like real-time stuff. So like I would not go too far ahead. I would have a long-term nurture sequence, Fred, maybe 24 emails. That doesn't take very long to write, actually. They're really short. An email shouldn't be more than like 2-3 paragraphs, okay? Like think about the emails I sent out today to remind you about this webinar. It was like, hey, there's a webinar. Click the link. Bye. Like you can go really quick with some of these. It can even just be what's frustrating you, right? It could even just be, how can I help you? Like it can be really simple two-way street kind of stuff. And then you can do content too. But I actually like to keep it close to the vest. I like to think about, hey, what's going on this month? What do I need to promote? And then I batch those, okay? And it also depends what's coming up. Like I don't want to work the last couple of weeks of December. I just want to take a couple of weeks off, right? So in that case, I'm going to plan 2 weeks of emails, probably go on into January for a week to get my New Year's stuff going. And I'll just be done with it. And then I'll just, around the 10th, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm done. Done for 2019, right? So I can automate all that stuff. Maybe show up for Q&As and webinars, but that's it. All right, so Key, I think it's Key. Maybe Key asks, is your email strategy different if you're marketing B2B, such as to market to advertising executives? I would say no, because the whole point of the email, the whole point of your autoresponders, the whole point of your long-term nurture sequence, the whole point of your daily emails is to build a relationship, right? And it's to free you of your time, and it's to sell people stuff. Because it is B2B, like you're selling to a business, but I promise you a person's checking the emails, right? Like Jocelyn was the sales manager for the Southeast U.S. for a commercial dishwashing company, right? That was all business to business sales. It was restaurants buying commercial dishwashers. But you know what? When an email hit her inbox, that was a human that answered that email, and that human had concerns, and you got to speak to that human if you're going to sell your stuff, right? So no, the point is to build an audience. Well, maybe your audience are a bunch of businesses. It's to set up autoresponders so you can market to those businesses effectively, right? And then it's to be audacious, like email them, go get the sale, right? Like close the deal, okay? All right, so that's a great question, but I would say no, email marketing is email marketing. You just have to know your audience, all right? Got a question from Facebook. Let's see, let me try. Somebody said that link did not work. Try this one. Got some people asking for the link over in Facebook. Click that, see if that one works. All right, I might have spelled it wrong. Click this one. Boom. All right, in the comments, somebody's asking for the $99 a quarter deal for the Flip Your Life community. I've dropped a new link. That's a direct link to the order form, so you can check that out. Thank you for pointing that out to me. All right, I got it fixed, Michael, and you can see that now. All right, so Lisa had a question, I think. It's like, how often do you edit your autoresponder emails? The ideas I have for freebies are seasonal, and I imagine I will need to tweak the emails every now and then. No, you would write multiple emails and each lead box. Okay, so let's say you wrote a blog post, Alicia, about fall, okay? If you wrote something about fall, it would be an article about fall. And then at the end of the fall article, there would be an opt-in box that said, hey, get my fall freebie. And the fall freebie would trigger the autoresponder for fall. So the only time anyone would ever see that or opt in for it is probably in the fall, right? And then you would make one for winter. And then you would make one for spring and summer. And then as you promote them, like I made last spring, I made an autoresponder for spring stuff. Well, we went through 3 seasons and it's spring again. So I'm going to go dust that off, drop that link into Facebook and start an ad to the same thing. This is the point. You use things over and over again, right? So you would actually create an autoresponder for each product. So each thing would have an opt-in for that, okay? And you need a general autoresponder as well, or a general opt-in as well. So you would just make different autoresponders for each thing. We could do that. Like, for example, on my history site, if you opt in for the Civil War, the next thing you see is Reconstruction, because that's how history, the order of it, right? But if you were to opt in for World War I, the next thing I might show you is World War II, because they're in chronological order. So I have the autoresponder triggered to do something different, right? And that's how you do that, okay? All right, let's see. Any more questions? If you have any more questions, you can drop those in right now. I want to remind everybody in the comments that we do have a special deal tonight. If you want to join the Flip Your Life community, we are raising prices on December 3rd, and you can avoid the price increase tonight if you join during this webinar. We have a $99 a quarter price. That's 3 months of membership. Works out to $33 a month paid quarterly. You can join that tonight and get that and lock it in forever, right? You won't pay anything again until 2020 if you join tonight, and we're going to be raising the price to $99 a month. It's going to cost $99 a month to be a member of the community because we're putting in a lot of new courses, a lot of new value. We're updating a lot of stuff. We've got a lot of big plans for the Flip Your Life community in 2020. This is a new year. This is a new decade, and we're going to be upping our game as we help you up your game. But we wanted to give everybody a chance to join the community before we raise the price, before we do that. So you can join right now today for $99 and get 3 months of membership of the Flip Your Life community. I'm going to test this link, HTTPS. It should work, fliplifestyle.com/quarterly. Let's see if that worked. And in mine, it worked. So I'm going to type that in again, fliplifestyle.com. Make sure you type HTTPS, fliplifestyle.com/quarterly, because it's a quarterly deal. You see what I did there? And you should be able to see that as well. I've also dropped the link in there to it as we go. Okay. All right. So I've got any more? Oh, I've got another question. I got 2 more questions in the chat box. Michael says, "Hey Shane, if we're already members, will this work?" Yeah. If you're paying $49 a month, it's Michelle. I'm sorry, Michelle. If you're paying $49 a month, sign up for that deal. Shoot us a message, and we'll make sure we turn off the other one. And you can have that deal as well. Yeah, we want to save you some money too. So go ahead. Yep, 100%. All right, let's see. Will asks, how do you validate a product? Okay, Will, that's a great question. I appreciate you asking that question. We only answer open Q&As for our live member calls. We got a member call next Tuesday. If you join the night, you can attend that. I'd be happy to walk you through that. But we're going to keep the discussion tonight focused 100% on email marketing. Also, if you join the night, Will, we have a course inside of the Flip Your Life community called Validating Your Idea. It's literally called that, like your product. So like we show you how to research it and say, yes, this will make money online. So you can, if you join the night, $99 a quarter, you won't pay anything until 2020. You can go watch that course tonight. It'll take you through it. You can come on Tuesday and ask a question. Okay, I want to keep it focused tonight on email marketing. All right, Brandon says, I have an old list, probably 500 plus subscribers from 10 years ago. That's an old list, right? That's when email was invented back then. That's what my son would say. They had email back then in the teens, in the 19s. That's what he would say. Well, that wasn't 19. That was in the aughts. They had those. All right. I have an old email list, probably 500 plus subscribers from 10 years ago. It would be for a similar product, so the audience should be good. Any ideas how to effectively clean up the list? I do not clean up my list. I email people offers and allow them to clean themselves out. So I would immediately start emailing that list every day for 30 straight days. And I would every day for 30 straight days offer them, alternate between offering them value and making a full sales pitch. And at the end of 30 days, you will probably have as many sales as you can get out of that 500 person list. So sell a membership or recurring revenue or something. And I would do that every other day, because just hammer the list. Let people self-select. I don't clean my list. I have not went into my email list and cleaned it in 5 years. I've not done it. I won't do it. I'm not going to look at it. Every time I go in there, I break tags and we do stuff, and we tried to do something once and we said, nope, not doing it anymore. So here's how I clean my list. I email you every day until you buy or unsubscribe. So make sure you warm them up with some value first. Be like, hey, it's Brandon. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Getting back in the game. Here's something free. And then the next day be like, hey, this is Brandon. Don't forget, I also sell stuff. Click here. And then just keep rotating through that for 30 straight days. And at the end of 30 days, you'll have sales. You'll have a nice, clean email list, and they will have done the work for you. Okay. And Michelle asked if that already works. Okay, I'm going to check Facebook one more time. About to close this thing up. About to wrap this thing up tonight to see if I missed any questions over here. I don't think I see. This might have for your starter website. Let's see here. How do you market websites, domains? Email lists work there too. Michael Ray asks, how do you market websites and domains with email marketing? It's the same thing. Like, there's people who sit and get on email lists. It's like real estate buyer lists. Like, they're on the list. If an email domain comes up, they get an email and says, this domain's open for 24 hours. Who wants it? Like, you jump in. You could do it the exact same way. Okay. Almost anything, everything is sold with email marketing. Like, even your real estate agent. Go to realtor.com right now, guys. If you want to buy real estate, guess what they want? They want your email. They want your phone number too, but they want your email address, and you will immediately get emails from realtors in your area, right? And they'll start harping on you, and they'll start sending you listings, right? It's the same. It works for everything. It's the same exact thing, okay? All right, I think that's all the questions that we have tonight. Hope this helped you guys. I want to remind you again, our 3 big points. You got to have content and build an audience. You've got to have autoresponders. You've got to be audacious and get out there and promote your stuff and get out there and be in people's face. And you got to market, and you got to give value, and then you got to sell. You got to be seen to sell, right? And we have all of the things that you need to help you do that inside of the Flip Your Life community. You can check out our Flip Your Life Blueprint. We have courses in there right now tonight that will help you create content and grow an audience, okay? We have courses right now in there that will help you write your first 7 emails. If you already have some emails in an autoresponder, these are battle-tested, tried and true, the emails that we use to start all of our autoresponders, and we have seen hundreds of people use them successfully. Those templates are in there right now inside of the Flip Your Life community. We'll help you write a long-term nurture sequence. Jocelyn is a pro at long-term nurture. She's got an amazing sequence that gets really, really high open rates. She did a course all about it in there. You can check that out. We've also got community forums with hundreds of people from all over the world who are not in this to be digital nomads and run around in Thailand on $6 a day. These are real adults, men and women, moms and dads, like people who are out there to change their family's future, not out there to get the Lambo in the Instagram picture, okay? We got an amazing community, awesome, helpful people. Man, if you ask a question inside the Flip Your Life community, it's not just me and Jocelyn chiming in. It's all sorts of people in there helping each other out. And then Jocelyn and I do live Q&As. Our next Q&A is next Tuesday, November 19th at 11:30 a.m. Members not only get to submit questions ahead of time, but they also get to watch replays, and they get to hang out with me and Jocelyn live. And you can ask any question you want. It doesn't have to be just about email marketing. We talk about a lot of different topics. Every Q&A, you can be in there. You can ask those questions. We are raising the price again. On December 3rd, and you can join tonight. It's going to be $99 a month. That's $297 for 3 months. We're going to let you join tonight, 3 months for $99. You can get a $99 quarterly membership. You can join tonight. You can save 65% off the price increase. You can avoid the price increase, lock it in forever. You can save $200, have that rate as long as you want, and you won't even pay anything else till 2020. You don't got to pay anything for Christmas. You don't have to pay anything at the new year. You can just join on the quarterly deal tonight, $99 a quarter. It is the best deal we will ever offer. We're about to update a bunch of courses at the new year. We're about to add in a ton of new trainings. You're going to be getting in at the right time if you join tonight. So make sure you join that. We can get started on your email marketing. You can take all those courses. You can come to our Q&A. You can start asking questions in the forums. And that deal is not permanent and will not last forever. When we raise the price, it is gone. It is for good. It is over. So I'm going to drop that link one more time. If you're listening in or you're watching this later and you don't have the link right in front of you, it's fliplifestyle.com/quarterly, QUART, quarter, L-Y, quarterly, for the quarterly membership. So it's fliplifestyle.com/quarterly. Got a bunch of people jumping in right now. I got people in there saying the community is amazing. We got members on the call tonight. And just wanted to say we really, really appreciate you guys. We appreciate you for being in our audience. Who listens to the Flip Lifestyle podcast every week? Let me know. Give me some love in here. Give me some hearts over on Facebook. Give me some likes. Who loves the Flip Lifestyle podcast? We have got a lot of great podcasts that we are recording right now. Jocelyn and I were talking about some ideas today. Every week we release Q&A sessions. We release interviews with our members, and we really appreciate you guys. You know, our goal is to help as many people as possible do what we did, and that's find freedom through online business, through making money online, through working from home. It doesn't mean you have to become and stay self-employed. It could be your side hustle. It could be making some money to make the mortgage, making some money to make the vacation or the car payment. Whatever your goals are, we want to help you achieve them. We want to help you identify and use your God-given talents and experiences to change your family's future. We really mean that. This is a passionate mission for us and our family to make sure other people don't have to suffer, don't have to, do without, don't have to look up and regret their life at the end of it. They can say, man, I went for it. I did something. I made it happen. We've had hundreds of success stories inside of the Flip Your Life community, people from all different niches, all walks of life. And our job is just to help you get your ideas to market and promote them like crazy, audaciously. And we do that inside of the Flip Your Life community. We love our community. We lead our community. We are not absentee owners. We are there. We're not the gurus who are, you're only one step away from ever talking to me, right? Like we're not those people. We're here for you. We want to help you, and we can do that inside, but we can't do it if you don't join, all right? So save some money. Lock it in. Commit to yourself for the next 3 months that you're going to take action. You're going to take your next step. You're going to go in. You've got 3 months. You can join the night. You can cancel anytime you want, but you've got $99 for 3 months of membership, all the training you would ever need. You can go in 3 months. Jocelyn and I built a business that made $2,500 a month, and we didn't even know what we were doing. We're actually helping you get there faster. You could do that right now, tonight, inside of the Flip Your Life community. All you got to do is join, okay? All right, guys, so I'm going to drop that link one more time. Really appreciate you again for coming tonight. And this replay will be available. I will send it out to you guys as soon as it's done. Thank you for everybody on Facebook that tuned in. Looks like we had some people in and out. Didn't promote it, didn't market it at all. And pretty cool just testing out this Facebook Live feature. But we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We're thankful for you guys. And we cannot wait to help you flip your life inside the Flip Your Life community. We will see you there. Peace.